my daughter Betsy. So she played basketball at the SJ Church too.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're only 11 minutes late for the live book signing. Congratulations. That's really early for us. Actually, right now we've got people here loading up the venue to get their book signed, and grateful for you joining us live here on the interwebs. All right, we're going to get started on some of these signing. And we're also going to. Hey,
Are you talking?
I am. I've got folks live, and we're going to be sharing some stories tonight. Outline of the book, just some of the craziness that goes into creating a book that they never want to make a book after hearing us talk. I don't know.
Russ, well, get science of books.
Things to do at a book sign. Number one,
Never done that before.
sign some books. All right, now we have some folks that have bought in advance. By the way, if you haven't bought in advance, there is this cool QR code in the corner. Did you put that there?
Oh, no, that's real.
The QR code is live. You buy the book here, you will sign it here.
You need to get like
and get it to you.
You need to get like the Stripe link over here, so when they buy it,
Just hey,
you can actually tell Joey exactly what you want him to say.
get out your phone and look at the stuff. Okay?
Well, I don't have my phone. I have my phone at home.
Oh,
I'm being real. Yeah, that's it. I realized that when I was let you guys know that there was a possible of a 280, and I was like, "Where's my phone, man?" It's like, there you go.
that's my beautiful wife taking our picture. For those of you who are at home, I'm sorry you don't get to spend time with her every day like I do. What?
Let's do some.
All right, who's first shoot?
So, are you thinking?
I'm thinking you.
You think? Okay.
Because this is like, do you sign on? Okay, here we need some help on this. Your comment. You sign on the inside cover here. Like this is the first time. You sign here or here. How can you even identify?
I'm just gonna sign.
Okay.
But here's the part I'm gonna need help with is spell check.
Hold on. Hold on. Two. T-O.
Yeah, probably. Like, see if they can catch it.
All right. So this first one is from Mr. Chris Fonduro. Chris, we love you. I believe you told us to say that you've been here from the beginning, and I don't care what Russ says. We both agree. You're a great guy. He told us what to say, Russ. You're going off script.
You can write whatever you want to in there. Write what I want.
Okay.
Do you think I'm never gonna follow a process?
Come on. I can't take this guy anywhere. Hey, Adler.
In a few minutes, I'm gonna replace your dad with you. Okay. Just use that.
By the way, give me a thumbs up and tell me if you are hearing us okay. I just want to make sure my audio. You know what? I didn't even check my audio.
I want to give a little.
Okay, how's that? Is that better? I think I had the wrong audio.
Oh, I don't know. I can't. You're the one that has the.
Okay, we got the audio. We're set.
No wonder people were like, "You're the worst." I can't hear anything. You should be able to hear it on that thing, right?
It's like watching a mime.
It's like Russ is.
I need somebody to be on StreamYard doing the sound check because this right here I can hear fine. I think I got it. All right, are you going to tell people what you're writing here, or is this a private thing?
This is always private, bro.
So okay, it's private. I'm sorry. But who's going to be next? By the way, how do we know when someone is bought? Amy?
Uh, i- if you could put Stripe over here, just go, to stripe.com. Yeah,
Yeah.
just go to Stripe right there. Just trying to buy another website,
Hey,
stripe.com.
you
And
know I'm not going to be able to log in.
Well, Amy can help you log in. She's gonna help you
You can
log
help me
in.
log in?
Yeah, there you go. You can sign this.
Okay.
So Amy, it's under info. The Stripe is.
I mean, I can't. I can't.
All right, I don't know the password. Is it in here? You can share it with us. Not live though. um I know. I kind of want it and I kind of don't, but did you find it? Oh. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, I typed that in. I got that part. Hey, as you join us, if you see the code in the top hand corner, you haven't already bought a book. If you want to, then make a purchase, and then
Oh, how good does that book look?
we will literally sign it as you purchase it right here. And there's a decent chance that Joey will have no spelling errors, but 100% chance I will. And that's the authentic part. So now it sends you a code. We'll look that up. So
welcome.
So in the little, is it comments, private chat? I don't even know how they do this. Just if you put comments, we should be able to see it. 718. Sorry, it's crazy around here. Stallion. All right, we gotta put some stories that's behind the scenes to the book. Yeah,
let's do this thing
behind the scenes. What do people want to know that they didn't get from the book?
Okay. All right. So let's do this thing. First and foremost, tell people what's in the book to begin with.
What'd you say?
Tell people what is in the book, just in general, like maybe a general outline.
So the idea was that there was three.
Wait, I'm signing Ernie's book right now.
Brown. Okay. 3 steps to freedom through passive income. And step number 1 is that you got to have a goal. You know what the goal was for me? That I'd be able to sit next to you to sign books one day.
Man. The goal of this book?
Yeah.
Literally.
That was the goal. The goal was that we would actually finish the book at some point.
My goal was just like, can we get something written that is spelled correctly from Russ? We had to hire a ghostwriter to do it, but it happened.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
But here's the thing is that remember when they were like, we said, hey, we would like someone who's going to write this book to really know everything about us. Like we want it to be as close to everything that we wanted. And they were like, not possible. They were like, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to like influence this person to watch all of our stuff for the next 2 years. And then it's going to be exactly like what we wanted. And that's what we got. All right. Who's this to?
This is Ernie Williams.
Oh, Oh, who's Nate and Drew? Is that his
Nate
kids?
and Drew are his sons,
Oh, nice.
and he said any inspirational message is fine.
Okay. Well, you write what you want.
What's your inspiration?
My inspiration to Nate and Drew is just try. Oh man.
Just try.
Hey,
Just do it was taken.
I mean, something like never stop dreaming, right? Like, I mean, think about that. I don't know how old they are as
Mm.
kids, but one of the things that kids do, imagination. There's the quote: "Imagination is greater than knowledge."
Mm.
Never stop dreaming, right? I mean, Einstein said that, and I brought up the second part, and it's a Steinmorgan. Sounds like a piano. Morgenstein. That's a
I mean,
Morgenstein.
you got another thing to back up if this doesn't work out.
Yeah. It's always the ability to come up with new talks. Big B, would you go get us a couple of those waters that's over there? Smaller B. All right.
I love that quote. That's great. You want to sign it too?
No, that I think. Well, yeah, I want to put my name on it.
I got to go with the fat pen. Do you like the Sharpie or the skinny pen?
Do you sign your first name and last name?
I mean, I did.
I've never
On
signed.
Chris's, I only did the first name.
I've never signed a
It's
book.
gonna be a
before.
little bit of both. I think.
Ooh, be careful. Careful.
Woo.
All right.
Welcome in.
I'm ready for some questions. I would like some live questions. If you are, if you see that QR code, you literally can buy a book right now online, and Joseph and I will sign the book, and we will mail it to you. Like it's only the first 50, and I think we're like 15 down just from the group here. So I don't know how many we have left online that we have to sign. I'm drinking the hard stuff tonight, straight water. But give us time. All right. So somebody asked this question. What's in the book? Why don't you guys write a book? And what would you gain out of it? So when we wrote the book, we really wanted to take everything that we had learned up to that point and put it in here so that way someone who could come and have kind of a guide to all of the steps that we had kind of learned up to that point. And I feel like when you read the book, it is a sleep aid.
Ernie's gonna get a picture with us. Come on.
Yeah.
Come in here. Live photo. I don't have my unicorn shirt on, but
I know. I've worn that to the gym before.
Have you really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I wore it to the gym. And somebody said, "Man, that's the most publicity Huck Newport got ever."
come on, man.
Yes.
Fantastic, gentlemen. Yeah.
Mm,
How's it feel to be published?
man,
It's different.
relieved.
It's one of those where whenever they told us they'd gone bankrupt about a year and a half ago, we thought, man,
That wasn't a good call. That was not a good day.
Publisher?
yeah.
Trisha wanted, she's working books.
Uh,
She said that they self-publish. And I thought, probably could.
well, yeah.
We didn't.
Almost in the
We almost did. Yeah.
Well, we didn't know
Yeah.
what we were doing. So when we signed up for this in like 2020, is that right? Was it 2020 when we started the book, or was it 21?
I think it was 21.
And the idea
guess.
was we're gonna have it ghost written, and this thing will be out in like 3 to 6 months. They said that if you really just want to have a book, just get out of our way. We'll do like 6 or 7 interviews, and we'll be done.
So easy.
And
So easy.
so they introduced us to our writer, and John Feldman, right?
Yes.
And John calls us up, and he's asking us questions. Of course, like we're just talking. Hours go by, and I'm
Shocker.
like, "What time, man? I gotta get on a meeting. I'm sorry, I gotta let you go. We'll have to get back together another time." So John gets super interested, and he's got like a 17-year-old daughter, and we're having a conversation. I said, "John,
She was 12, but yeah.
whatever." I said,
By the time we were done, she was 17. But
She was. So, I was like, so John, imagine you got to go. No, I was like, imagine. Yeah, you got to ask mom on that. I said,
go light on the Sprite.
yeah.
Go
I
light on the
said, imagine what sort of things would your daughter want to do with you today that she's not going to want to do with you when she's 30. And man, he just like, we started like really hitting home with him, and he started like going, dude, I got to figure this stuff out. We're like, well, here's the thing. Like, we've got all this courses, we've got all this content. But when we were talking to you guys as like publisher, they were like, man, you guys want to get this out quickly. Like, this is just going to be small. He goes, man, I'd love to go through you guys' stuff. I was like, I really would love for you too. Cause I really want, like, I want the essence of all that we do to be in this book. And I just know if Joey and I are the ones writing the words, it's gonna, it's not gonna sound really great. And we're gonna,
No.
it's gonna be a mess. And he's like, dude. And so, like, for the next year, John's just like head first in all of our stuff. And he's like coming up for air and like would come back to us. Well, then he'd write a chapter and he'd give it to us. And me and Joey would just go to town, basically rewriting the whole chapter. The whole thing that they told us not to do, we did. So while we did have a ghostwriter, I would say we wrote this thing with his help.
It was
a lot.
What would you call a low calorie ghost? Like very, it's almost a full person. Like
So
not a whole lot of ghosting going on.
So it ultimately took a lot longer, and then I think we got like to pretty much to the finish line toward the end of 22, and that's when the publisher went bankrupt. And we were kind of in the phase of like where they were starting to bring us the graphics and like the editing and all of that stuff, and it just stopped. Nothing happened, and
But at least 6 months with no communication. We were like, hey, weren't we writing a book at one point?
so,
What happened to that?
So our friends were like,
And Amy was
they're
like,
like, you should be
I don't
on
know.
edition 4 at this point. Like this should be. And if you're ever considering writing a book, as you're listening to this, is that get the thoughts out, get them out quick. Don't try to make it the best thing ever. Come back and redo it. That's kind of the episode that we have. But it's the beauty is that now like we're going to do the Audible version, and we're going to do a commentary between Joey and I between chapters.
So like he reads one, and then you comment on his chapter. He reads another. You comment on
Well,
basically, he's just going to correct me the whole time.
well, we're gonna. I don't know who's going to read each chapter, but in the middle, we're going to talk about the chapter. Like what were just those funny things that happened? Like what were some of the
Or
thoughts?
things that have been updated in the 4 years since the
Right. I mean, well, when you think about like some of the when we had the investor DNA, that was like really brand new stuff, and so like we just had the Inner Circle Live for the 6th time we've done it or whatever it is, and like we've updated, we've had so many renditions to it. Like every time we're like, oh, this need to be, oh, we got a new passive income stream. Like every time we're investing in something new or meeting somebody new, like we start updating it. I feel like there's a lot of just small upgrades that V2 will have in it, but also
Try to
the
drop some
Audible
nuggets.
version will have a lot of that in it too. So that way somebody's like, well, I don't want to go back and get the second book. Like, no, you get the first one and the second one all in one swing. So just so you know, like buy the hard copy on Stripe tonight, and we're literally going to sign it for you. But after that, here in a couple months we'll have a live Audible
DC
version.
win.
What'd you
I
say?
just wanted to give you. You having fun? Did you get some pizza?
Can we see? I see that. Yeah, I'd like to sign copy. All right, EC Wayne. All you have to do is, has EC already? I don't know if he's bought it or not. All right. So So-
I don't know where to go.
So EC, all you gotta do is make a purchase here. Use the QR code. Make sure the QR code is taking you to the right spot. All right, I gotta sign some more books here.
Okay.
We got Scott. Scott needs.
By the way, this is my daughter Adler. She wanted to say hello, and she's so excited.
To work for Wealth on Wall Street.
Oh, she says she wants to work for Wealth Wall Street. Okay. All right. Hey, you go enjoy it. Okay.
Love you.
All right. Let me do some magic here.
You got magic?
See if that thing works.
Uh,
Yeah, it's not.
there you go. You hit
QR code.
the you out. Hey, will you pull up those suggestions you gave us up here?
There.
DK.
David Karcher has entered the building, folks. And Mr.
Oh.
Bondero. Yes, it's
Your
here.
plus
It's here.
one. You brought your plus one.
It's working.
All right.
All right. If you're just now joining us, put in the chat any questions you want us to do live or
Not the chat. It's got to be in the comments.
in the comments. I'm
Where are
sorry,
they watching
the
this
comment.
at? They're
No,
watching
that's
on
right.
LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook,
all the things.
Tweeters,
No tweeters.
Snapchats.
We're not on the Snapchat. However, leave us a comment. Let us know what questions you have for us about the book or
100
otherwise.
unicorns got a live chat going right now.
Listen, Shopify is not supported. However,
But
the QR code in the corner,
Hey,
you
but-
can buy the book right now. We will literally sign it
But-
in front of you.
buy the book and
Virtually.
get a unicorn for free.
Dude, I'm trying to make a profit over here.
Oh, that would be good. All right, tell the story while I'm signing.
All right. So, first and foremost, are you sending this to Scott?
Yeah.
All right, Scott Bishop. If you're watching us, we're literally signing your book right now. Ask me later to interpret what Russ is writing. It is chicken scratch, but we'll get there. Okay. So what's the key things about the book? We're talking about time at the end of the day. And one of the things we start off with in the very first chapter is we got challenged by one of our podcast guests one time. And he said, "Hey, how important is time to you? Like you're talking about time freedom." We're like, super important. That's what passive income greater than monthly expenses creates. It's freedom, right? And he said, "Well, how much are you tracking your time?" And Russ and I kind of looked at each other, literally sitting in the podcast room, and we're like, about that. We track our passive income, but we don't track our time. And man, it was such a big challenge. So one of the first things we share is a time log and how to start to track what is important to you and find out what the things on that time log are. They congruent with what you would be doing if you're financially free, or are they dissonant? That was a big word back then. It still is for us. But does it go along with your goal, or is it going against it? And man, I gotta share with you, it is super challenging when you start looking at your time that way and making it tell you the truth, right? What you spend your time on is what you value. And so, anyways, that was such a. It's in the book, but you'll get a little bit more background. Of like that's how we learned about it on a podcast. Are you leaving any space for me to do any signing here? That's like 32 font, literally.
I paint by numbers, bro. Come on, man.
And it's not in Times New Roman. It's like Times Russ Morgan over here, looking scratchy.
Oh my goodness. I know. He got his kits been
Hey,
dripping over
hey.
here.
Hey, come on. This whole thing.
Dri-
Come on, this whole thing. I for who? Hodges. Where is Hodges? Come. Come on, man. Jeff Hodge. Okay, we got to go in order here, Jeff. Okay, I don't know if you're trying to jump in line. We're not doing that. We got Teresa. I'm gonna let Russ say the last name. Teresa, we are going to sign your book next after Scott's. What? This is a live signing from 5 until 7 p.m. I'm not sure if Russ is trying to use the entire time on your book, Scott, or what.
Man,
But
I'm just like,
this is ridiculous.
I like to be thoughtful. Usually I talk while I think. I'm not talking, you're
Thank
talking.
you. Thank you. Do not start. Man. Okay. Teresa, if you're live with us, let me know who you want this made out. Oh, I'm sorry. It's to your husband, Eddie. Man.
All right,
Eddie, you're about to get.
I left your spot.
Dang,
There is room. Just
I
for your
mean,
first name.
that is
Scott.
ridiculous.
I didn't leave room for
All right, I'm
his last
signing
name.
this next one by myself, and I'm leaving you the spot.
Uh,
Dang, Scott.
hey,
This is-
whenever the beauty is when you're part of the live book signing, you get like authentic. Like this is my most famous autograph I've ever received, and the only autograph I've ever received came from my favorite football player, baseball player, Bo Jackson. I was in Auburn. My mom finished her degree at Auburn when Bo Jackson was still playing, and I was like second grade. Well, he leaves Auburn, goes and plays for the Kansas City Royals, and my mom had a friend who worked at the Kansas City Royals and was able to get a poster. This poster with Bo Jackson. I mean, big, huge poster. Get him to sign it. And my poster reads, "To B, but letter B, capitalized, Russ from Jackson." That's it. So he's about to write to Bo Jackson from Bo Jackson, I think, and stopped himself.
B. Russ Morgan.
So
This is Chris's right here. Don't let.
that's my only autograph I ever see. And the guy from the Smarter Every Day, I could have gotten his autograph again on Saturday. He was at the tournament hanging out in front of me, and I just didn't go bother him.
You
know
needed
the
your
Smarter
wingman.
Everyday guy. You follow that group? Yeah. His daughter plays soccer against my daughter, and we whooped up on him. I'm just gonna tell him. He may have 11 million subscribers, but that day wasn't. That day they took an L.
You needed your wingman. Let's just be real. I'm
Yeah.
the guy that goes in.
You would have gone in. You would
I'm-
have gone in and talked to
I'm
him.
the master of the awkward. You know.
Yeah.
I'll go in and be the awkward guy.
See
See what comes out the other end.
Ernie, if we would have no podcast, we would have no business wasn't for this guy. Like, I mean, he would come up to me in church and be like, "Hey, let me ask you, have you talked to Justin about the infinite banking concept? Does he know about this?" I'm like, "No, he didn't know about it." Like, "Oh, okay. Well, what about Amy? Amy, she really needs to know about this. She's in your Sunday school class. You guys talking about how to become your own banker?" I'm like, "No." Like, well, what about Jeff? Like, Jeff is the perfect person. Like, Jeff has got so many things going. Like, this would be fantastic. I'd be like, we ain't got around to it yet. And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I just don't like going up and talking to people about it." He's like, "What are you talking about? Like, you get up and talk on stages. You're not like you're always doing these like events where you're." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's different than talking to somebody just one-on-one." Joey's like, "I'll go talk to him. I'll go have it." So without this, who knows
Let-
where we go?
So this is Eddie, who is Teresa's husband.
Yes.
I'm just giving you context, okay? You gotta know who you're signing to. The thing is not working.
Well, it probably has like a little thing on the end of it. This is a brand new pen. This is
Oh,
for the book signing. They gave us new pens. You take off the little
that's
end cap.
fancy.
They take off the little wax at the end.
Thank you for that, Russ. I mean,
Wax out of your ear. Wax out of the.
he's still teaching me. Still teaching.
All right. So here's the key. There's 3 steps to passive income,
Yes,
right? First step is having a goal.
that's right.
You said a second ago, for those who are still listening, that the first step is to realize that your time is the most important thing.
Yes.
And what you track grows, and what you track and report on grows exponentially. Well, as it relates to time, we should be tracking what and where we're spending our time, right? Like, and who are you spending it with? But so oftentimes we don't track. And I can tell you that it's easy for me to go up into my office and spend hours doing things that probably would take minutes. Now, I love doing what I'm doing, but for so many people, they spend hours doing things that they don't love doing. And so not getting any closer. And they would say, hey, I don't have time to accomplish it. And one of our friends said, if you say that you don't have time to accomplish it, what you're really saying is it's not a priority. So what are the things that are a priority in your life? And are you tracking the things that you're doing? And are the things you're doing getting you closer to what you want or further away, right? So we talked about being congruent with what we want, or being, I think we use a fancy word like dissonant.
Dissonant. I came up with that one.
So when we're just a simple thing like that, if you go into the book and you're like, wait a second, I was going to learn about how to become financially free. Why are you guys talking about having a time lock? Because I would tell you that more times than not, the things that we're spending our time on are not getting us closer to what we want. If you will track your time, a simple thing like that will be a difference maker. Tracking things, because the formula of financial freedom is what?
Passive income greater than monthly expenses.
So how do you know if you're financially free if you're not tracking expenses?
No chance.
Who wants to track expenses?
You don't know the score.
Nobody wants to track expenses. You usually would like do anything. Like you go wash the dishes instead of track your expenses, right? You go cut the grass.
I go work on 100 unicorns.
Yeah, you literally go try to find a unicorn. You can find one, you can sell it.
I'm about to leave this book signing right here. Straight up.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, go over here. I got to figure out who who's bought the latest copy of the book, because I gotta write them a
Okay.
a note here.
Where are we going here?
You got to scroll up to the top. It tells you. See right there. You scroll down. It's going to tell you the name somewhere. Go where it should payments. It says payments right
Okay.
there. The latest person on the list right there.
Okay.
Ernie Williams.
Remember, he said for Jeff Hodge.
For
You gotta
Jeff.
do Jeff.
Okay.
You got to finish Eddie's. Literally haven't finished Eddie's.
Should I write something specific for Eddie? You wrote something for Eddie.
No, you just signed it.
Okay. Eddie, I'm sorry. I would have written a lot better stuff, but I'm just following the orders right here.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
So some people will look at my handwriting and go, man, that is fantastic handwriting.
He must be a doctor.
Ernie, do you know how I learned how to where my penmanship came from? Copied my mom's signature when I was a kid.
That school note.
I mastered that absentee note so good. Just crushed it, man. All right. Man, Robert's next on the list here.
Okay.
Robert
All
says
right.
he's interested.
I'm writing Jeff Hodges in here.
A
Okay.
Linden business.
Jeff Hodges
Any
is
thoughts,
on the
words
list.
of wisdom, or suggestions on potential contacts or mentors be greatly appreciated. Man, I got one
Okay.
suggestion on the private lending. You may have heard the story, maybe you hadn't. So Joey, when we really first started getting in the private lending space,
Oh,
Joey comes to me and tells me about this deal he just did. I'm
hey,
like,
the first one was
we're
fire.
not talking about that one. And I'm like, what'd you do? He said, I lent this lady money. She runs a business and she needed inventory. And it's a 30-day deal, right?
30 days.
And what sort of return had you built in on this private lending deal?
I mean, it was fire.
What was it?
I have no idea. I don't remember. 10%, 20.
Whatever it was. And I'm like, sweet. What's the
I mean, for
business?
30
you know, like
days,
what's the
like-
collateral? If this deal goes bad, what's the collateral? Because we had just gotten finished doing a car loan where we made like, I don't know, 100% on the deal. And we lent against a brand new Suburban for like 10 grand. So I mean, it was like,
it was
and I had
cute.
repoed some cars in my day, so I felt confident if the deal goes bad, I can go get this thing. And the dude was a realtor. I was like, I can take him. I mean, not that there's not some tough realtors out there, but I'm just saying, like, I
Hey.
felt confident. I had a friend or two if I needed it, but we weren't going in a bad area. So Joey tells me that the lady runs, she's in the hair business, salon. And I'm like, oh, so she owns a salon. What'd you get? Like, some like chairs as collateral, maybe the building as collateral. No, not so much.
Listen, she had a tax return that was coming.
Okay. I've lent against her
A tax
tax refund.
Okay.
Her tax refund is what he lent against.
Look,
And I'm
I
like,
saw
what
the
does she sell? What do
I
you get?
saw
He
the
goes, well,
return.
she needed inventory. She buys a bunch of shampoos and conditioners and color and all this stuff. And I'm like, and what are you gonna do with that?
Listen, needless to say, my confidence was waning.
So I start poking holes in this thing, which is thing's a punch board. I mean, this thing was so easy. And the time for it comes and goes as to when the deal is supposed to be back. And of course, she ain't answered.
Look,
Like,
there was a delay.
she's in the
Okay.
wind.
IRS was behind. I mean, when have you ever seen that?
I mean,
Always.
she's gone down there and met the kid that's interning at the H&R Block and asked him twice, when is the money gonna come?
Listen,
So Robert, you want some
do not-
insights on
okay.
Private lending, collateral.
write that in there. That is 100%. 100% the lessons learned. And go for the Suburban. You want to? To him. Big B is looking.
Beasley, what's wrong? Okay, let's hear it.
Whoa.
Oh wow, we got a live call in here. First time.
Live caller.
Hello, is this Kate? So Kate, what would you like to know? I mean, your dad knows all these things. I mean, what do you think it is that I can teach or give you insight toward?
This is fresh off the press.
All right, man, that's so inspiring to me. That I got a book with your name on it coming your way.
Y'all, this is happening right now.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. All right, kid, I'll hand you back to Betsy now.
This is live. Dreams are being fulfilled.
I mean, come on, like you can't. This is investor in training right here.
Hey, Kate, I'm putting Kate on here.
Put Kate with a K.
Kate, no last name.
Yeah. All right.
Very good. Now that's some skill upside down writing.
You used to work at.
You don't see that every day.
Yeah, that's one of those. What was the restaurant you used to write on your table? Remember that back in the day? Huh? It was over there in the summit. Macaroni Grill. And they would always write their name upside down on your deal, and I was like, I like that.
Megan worked at Macaroni Grill?
Heck no, man.
Oh,
Even though that was one of the.
you can learn at other places, I guess.
Yeah. You can learn in other places. All right. So tell another story. Why
Who are we on here? We're still
share
Robert.
another story. So all right. So talk about plans. So we talked about goal. We hit some goals. Hit something on the plan side. Maybe something that's a insight from the book that other people don't have yet.
So first of all, let's set the stage. We got really, really smart on this thing. If you're trying to find a destination, what's the best thing to use? GPS. Thank you, Ernie. You got to use the GPS. So we use G for goal, P for plan, S for support. That's where we're going. GPS. You got to start with the goal as where you are right now. You can't tell the GPS can't tell you where to go if they don't know where you're at. Have you ever been somewhere where you have really bad like cell signal and it doesn't pick you up and you're like, I don't know what to do? My phone is literally useless right now. It's not the place you want to be. So you start with the goal. Now you get the plan. Now, what are the components of plan? We're getting into your automated budget, right? You guys love the doctor of financial medicine on the podcast. Eric, my friend, he is the master of the automated budget. And we go through how do you plan for putting money aside? How do you plan for how you pay yourself first? How do you do all that and do it on autopilot? So we cover the automated budget. We cover the richest man in Babylon formula for how much to save. Super important, right? What do you like about richest man in Babylon?
Well, I love the fact that it gives you a framework of how much money you can spend and always grow wealth, right? That the concept is if you set what you're going to spend, I'm gonna live off 70% of every dollar I make. Well, if you set that and you say, well, man, 70% is not enough to live the lifestyle that I want, then what does that tell you got to do? Just make more money, right? So then you have to just imagine, how can I make more money? What is the opportunity? But then the other part is saying, well, what can I do with that other 30% that can create those soldiers, as he talks about in the book? How do I get those soldiers going out and bringing more soldiers back to continue to conquer and create more? And I just love that idea of the 70-30 mindset. And there's another 70-30 rule out there that I got a chance to follow or learn about, right?
Right. I own 70% of the business. You own 30. Keep going.
But we learned this together from Colin Powell, right? I don't know if you've heard Colin Powell's 70-30 rule. So one of the things that he said that he learned.
I don't think that's actually the name of it, by the way.
You don't think
Russ is making this up right now on the spot.
It's not the 70-30 rule?
No.
Google it. I think it is.
Hold on.
Actually, I probably should wait for him to confirm this before I go out on a limb.
There's no.
But I'm feeling pretty confident it's Colin Powell's 70-30 rule. Just put 70-30 rule in there. And no, you're right. It's 70-40 rule.
I was about to say, because the math did not make sense when you first hear it.
Okay.
The 40-70. That's what we call
the 40-70 rule. Well, it's close enough. I knew the 70 part.
By the way, that was live. I was right.
But have you ever heard the 70-40 rule? Well, you could have been like, well, I heard that, but I hadn't heard the 70-30 rule.
Yeah.
This applies though in investing. This is a great tool, and just in life in general. He would say that he needed at least 40% of the information about whatever the deal was in order to be able to make a decision. Had to have at least that much. But if he had waited until he had more than 70%, the time had already passed him, right? So he was saying, what's that threshold? And when you're in the position of having to make decisions, obviously he was having to make a lot of decisions and really important decisions for our nation. He was going off a 40-70 rule. I just think, how can we apply that in our life to investing, right? How many of us want to have 140% of the information before we make a decision? How many of us only need 1% of the information before they make a decision?
Whoa.
So I think there's just a lot of wisdom in that. So that's how do I connect the richest man of Babylon and Colin Powell? Is that I use the 70% and then the 30-40 part.
Who's keeping track?
Anyway, so good. If you as you join us, if you want to buy a book, use the QR code. We're gonna get a link, and we literally will sign your book in front of you.
Here, switch with me. Are you done? You seriously not done?
Yeah.
You got Robert. We're trying to finish up. Oh no, you just told us the trick. This is Jeff's, okay? We're sitting here holding this man up because you can't spell, and he literally looked up the word collateral. Y'all, it's on the screen.
Well, I didn't want to misspell it. I usually make up words, and I could have made up that one, but I just decided I would spell it correctly.
By the way, I don't think people want you to write the book and write another book. Okay.
I'm sorry, Victoria, that I wasn't the one who signed it first. Otherwise, you have a lot more insight.
By the way, Victoria, you gave us nothing that you wanted us to make an inspirational message, so we just went with our best.
Yeah.
But we're grateful for your
Where
support.
does this go up here?
I'm just putting them up there.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
All right. So
This is Jeff Hodges.
okay, I'm gonna write this. Huh?
Can we do them both at the same time?
I don't know if we can go live in the community and on StreamYard. Unfortunately,
Yes.
I would love to, but I don't know how to do it. All right. So Jeff, I'm starting your book. This is for you. Speaking of my favorite player, Jeff gave me a book on my favorite player.
Yeah, he did. I'm a lot shorter on that, Robert. All right, I gotta go say hey to some folks here.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
All right. So as I'm writing Jeff's book here, I'm gonna hold it, Ernie, up just a few more minutes because he's wanting to leave. But I know that you're on here. Like you want some commentary. You want something more out of this than just looking at a pretty face, right? Like this ain't OnlyFans, like this is way classier than that. Oh man, I think I'm making Amy feel really uncomfortable right now. All right, so goal plan support. All right, question. Greatest way that you know that you're in the right room, Ernie. Greatest cue or insight into knowing that you're in the right room, right? When you're with a group of people, what's the one lesson? What's one insight, one cue that says, man, I am in the right room? What's being talked about? So give me an example of what's being talked about that we would say, yeah, I'm in the right room. Ideas. So one of our friends, Sharon Shavasa, has this conversation that talks about the 5 levels of conversation. Have you heard this yet? So he says, a level 1 conversation is when you're in the room and you're just talking about each other, right? Only conversation you're having is just kind of menial, passerby stuff, right? He starts leveling it up. And he would say a level 3 conversation is when you're talking about ideas, which he says is good, right? But the problem with ideas is that some people aren't taking action on those ideas. So he'd say a level up from that would be when you're talking about how you're taking action on those ideas. But his top level 5 conversation, Ryan, you need to leave in about 10 minutes. Okay. I'm on the video currently. There's somebody right here watching you. Here, you sit down and talk. So a level 5 conversation is when you're in that one-on-one or one-to-many, and you're talking about personal financial things. Because when you start talking about the personal financial things that you're dealing with, then great insights start to happen, right? Because typically when we're in that level 1, that superficial, we're talking about the football game, the March Madness that just got finished. You might be talking about, things that you're thinking about. But in a level 5 conversation, you're talking about really money. And that's why I know you and Jeff have those sort of conversations. You really start talking about thinking things that are making a difference. So how many people do you have in your life that are a level 5 conversation on a regular basis that you literally can talk about the top 5% and the bottom 5% of your life? That's what support looks like. So we talk about GPS. Support is having a team of people around you, but more importantly, the right people, those people that you have those level 5 conversations. So Jeff, you're definitely one of those people. For Ernie, I know you're one of those. For a lot of people, he's not going to know what I mean by this. You're going to have to tell him.
Can I sign my name in that?
Yeah, we'll let you sign it.
Really?
All right, Ryan, you sign your name on there too. Just put it right there. Just give him a Ryan. Not everybody gets a Ryan. You got to pay extra for that. I'm just going to tell you. Yeah, there you go.
Wait, period.
That's how we make sure we pay for trail life and stuff like that. You know, this is part of. I don't know if you know this, that you can pay your children up to $13,000 a year out of your business, expense it. They don't have to pick up income, and then they can use it for things that they want to do, like be a part of trail life or play soccer or go to ballet. See if you can get Joey to sign the rest of this. Joseph,
I don't
sign this for Jeff so Ernie can finally leave. He's been waiting on this forever.
I doubt I'd want to do the last one, but
All right, so really quickly, Ryan. So we're talking about ideas, things that we can do. So would you tell everybody who's listening what's a business idea that you have that you're working on right now to try to find ways to build money? And just talk right into your microphone right there.
it's called Arctic Snow.
Arctic Snow. What's Arctic Snow about?
It's a snow cone company.
Snow cone company. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the business.
6 more minutes.
We only got 6 more minutes here, but he's got to get the business idea out there. And so how do you operate the business? Tell me, like, on a regular basis, how often are you meeting, and how do you earn money? Do you have other teammates that help you? What's that look like?
So I'll answer the last one.
Okay, that's fine.
So I've got a cousin involved as my employee.
As your employer, okay. What sort of employee benefits? What's the wages look like on something like that?
50-50.
Yeah, come over here and take a picture with. Do it. What is it?
50-50.
50-50. Okay, so we're going to be working on his pay scale. Like he hasn't thought through the cost of goods here yet. You know.
No, not yet. Why is everyone suddenly over here?
All right, we stand up. We got to get a picture here. All right, so everybody, this is my family.
Dad, you gotta bend down. You're too tall.
Not in the computer. Hey, he's enamored by the computer. You know? I get it, you know? Thank you guys.
Hey. You should really buy these.
All right, thank you, brother. Go have fun. Oh, man.
All right, what we got going on here?
I'll let you have a seat. Sure.
All right, so did we already get?
We got Jeff knocked out. Yep, Jeff is done. All right, so hit the There's a QR code up there. Make a purchase. I know you probably already have, but I got more books to sign here. Where's the refresh button? Is it right there? Is that what you do?
Yeah.
I don't know how to use a Mac. That's not my gifting. I'm not shocking to many of you. So, all right. So, did we get Jordan? Jordan's up on the list here. Yep. Okay. Perfect. All right. So
We got
Stallion, I've been yeah.
we gotta do Kate.
Yep.
Have you done Kate?
No, I'm about to do Kate. All right. I just told a story about support.
Okay.
You
All
want
right.
you want to go back to goal for him? This is
We're back to goal.
well, I mean, we just giving some little nuggets here. So I gave a little support, a little level 5 conversation a second ago. I
Mm.
think that's important. What's an area
So-
in goal that maybe would help somebody level up?
Well, one of the things that I think is critical, and we outline this in the book, that something that our mentor Nelson Nash taught us, and he was the master of this. Okay, the master of humility, realizing that what you've already learned is really minuscule in light of what else is out there. He was 88 years old when he passed. And for the previous probably 10 years, he would come into our office and he would have not one book, a stack of probably 7 or 8 books. Literally, I was overwhelmed every time. Brent, by the way, we see you, man. Thank you for being here. And he would just stack up these books on our desk and say, "Hey, just read these this week and thought about you. You definitely need to check out this one," whatever it was. Pick one. He had the most extensive library of books. He was always learning. That's one of the things about the goal that I think is so important, is recognizing that there's so much more to learn. Recognizing that as you learn, you recognize that you have so much more to learn. And I liken it to, if you ever follow the life of Paul in the Bible, he starts with, that he was a sinner. And then he recognizes he's like the chief of sinners. And then he recognizes that he is, and this is as he's doing more ministry, as he's sharing the gospel, as he's getting out there, he is my brother. He's recognizing that he has so much more, that he could be more like Jesus. And man, I just think that is a critical part of this journey of financial freedom. And that's why you hear Russ and I, we don't have it all figured out. We just shared on our passive income report today the things that aren't working, because we recognize we still have things that we have to learn. But we want to share with you all the things, the good things, the bad things, what's working, what's not working, because we want to continue to grow and we want you to continue to grow. So anyways, I just think that that's an important part around having the goal, is starting with what all you still have left to learn. How would you say anything else to that, Russ, or add anything to it?
I'm sure it was great. I wasn't listening.
Story of my life.
When I'm sitting here writing, I'm like, I'm all in. Like I'm looking and I'm thinking, like, how can I put the most amount of
One
energy
track.
into one thing?
One track mind.
I am. I'm all or nothing. Like, I'm all in here, nothing with you right now.
Hey, I appreciate it.
What else? What else you want?
I appreciate it, man. So let's talk a little bit about plan. Remember, we talked, if you just joined us, our book is around these simple thoughts that you have to have a GPS to get where you're going, right? You have to have the goal, the plan, and the support. We just talked about an aspect of goal, but under plan, I think this is super critical. Talking about the major mistakes people make on their way to financial freedom, you got to stop doing these 3 major things. We call them the big 3 because they're the most common things that we found and talking to thousands of people about their finances, people are doing that they don't realize is not getting them closer to financial freedom. In fact, they're getting them further from. And if you really value your time, there's the last thing you want is to be going further from your goal of total financial freedom. So what are the big three, Russ, that people are doing?
Man, the big three mistakes.
Exactly.
Boy, here's the number one financial freedom killer out there. Qualified plans. Your 401k is 100% in conflict, direct conflict with you becoming financially free. Tell them, Chris. I mean, 100% in direct conflict with you becoming financially free. People say, well, Russ, surely that can't be true. My employer,
Everybody says it's a good thing.
my employer is giving me a match. They are giving me free money. When I put money in there, they're giving me 100% return on my money. And while that is true, the first day that money goes in there, every day thereafter, that actually wanes away. But here's the thing. What is the price of freedom for you? Right? Are you willing to give up access to your money, willing to give up the ability to learn how to become a better investor by waiting until the arbitrary age of 59 and a half, or when you have separated service from your company after 59 and a half? Because if you can't use the money, you can't buy an asset that produces passive income, you're no closer to financial freedom. All you're doing is hoping that the money will be there when you get out, so that at that point in time, you then can pray it doesn't run out before you run out of time. So the number one on that list is qualified plans. And I could beat up on them a lot further, but it just goes back to what you said a second ago, is it producing a passive income? Your qualified plan, your 401k.
No.
You had money at a qualified plan when we were talking together, when you were working at Wells Fargo, and I was having this conversation with you, and I was like, is it producing a passive income? You're like, no. And you had a lot of money in it. I was like, is it reducing a monthly expense? That's the other side of the equation.
No, it's actually taking cash flow out of my pocket every month.
So what do the wealthy do? Wealthy get money to flow to them, while broke people have it flow away.
Exactly.
So all we're doing is flowing money through the hands of somebody else. And what are they doing with it? They're spending it in the way of fees. All that money is coming to them in the way of fees. People don't realize that that model was built off a cash flow engine for Wall Street to continue to make more and more fees. And they've made it harder and harder for you to get access to the money. And because when you take it out or you have access to it, it's in direct conflict with their way of lifestyle.
Then they can't build wealth with it.
Hey, I used to be a guy that collected fees. I was a certified financial planner. I collected fees. I had assets under management. AUM is what they say.
You needed that cash flow.
How else do you think I was going to buy these flowered shirts? I mean, I don't just give these things away.
In some places.
All right, number 2 on the list, and I'm going to say hello to Chris. I'll be right back.
Give Chris his book. Tell him to come over here and get us a picture.
All right,
you gotta get a picture over here.
But here's yeah. All right, get over here.
Let's go.
Let's find it.
Oh, it's this one.
So this is a little nugget about Chris. So Chris was in my office. We were meeting one day, and was it my 40th birthday? What birthday
Yeah,
was that?
it was. Yeah, you had a singer come in. It was nice. We thought he was going to start taking his clothes off.
So a guy comes in and I'm in a meeting.
Oh, we're in it. I mean, like, he's showing me the way.
And I don't remember if it's Ernie or somebody comes up and they're like, hey, there's a guy up front. I'm like, yeah, I'm here, Chris. And they're like, no, but I think you need to meet with me. I'm like, this dude walks in and got a guitar. I'm like, I'm just like, I'm like, wait a second. This is like the elf concept, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this is the kindergarten, you know?
It was awesome.
He sits down, sings a song.
What was the song? It's like, not You Got a Friend in Me, but it's something
Grow
about
Old With Me.
It's a friend song.
Yeah,
It was like, oh,
that's the
I
best.
thought
Right,
he'd
right
done
now,
that
my
for
sister,
us,
my
for
sister,
me.
my sister and my mom are watching this right now. There's two people online, and they're like, "You know what?
Yeah, call in.
It was from your
Uh,
mom. It was
call
from your
in.
mom?
My mom and sister, that was their gift to me. It was so fantastic.
That was awesome.
We got to
Never
experience it
forget
together.
that. That's it.
That was
And
great.
then we got right back into it after,
Yeah.
you know,
We never forget that, but we forgot the song.
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
You got
thank
a
you
friend in
guys.
me.
I'm it wasn't that. It was, I think it was James Taylor's friend song. I'm gonna go back and I wrote it down. I got
I
the
got it on video somewhere. I just don't have my phone, so I can't pull it up.
Yeah, I wrote it exactly. What
You did, man. I put in there on a postscript David Carter's a doo-doo head, but that didn't make the book. So
I nixed that. I nixed.
thank you. Going home to devour this tonight.
Appreciate you, brother.
Man, it was a great sleep aid.
Love
Love you.
Oh, so fun. All right. So, all right, what's number two on the three big mistakes? I'll be right back.
So, second thing is always going to be how you pay off debt. Making extra payments on debt is a killer to financial freedom. Now, you may be saying, I've heard the total opposite of that. I always want to pay off debt. That's like the first thing everybody tells you to do. And the bottom line is you think about it in light of the financial freedom score, right? Does it create a passive income when I'm paying down debt? Now, I'm clarifying this, not paying off debt. If you pay off a debt, then all of a sudden your expenses are lower, right? But I'm going to use your house as an example. If you have a $300,000 mortgage and you're paying an extra $500 a month, $1,000 a month, and it's going to take you 15 years to pay that completely off. The 15 years between now and then is going to take money out of your pocket every month, and it's going to give it to that mortgage company, that bank, and it's going to limit your ability to create financial freedom with it because your monthly payment does not change. In fact, you think about it, if I'm paying an extra $1,000 a month, I can no longer spend that money. It's actually increasing my expense. So does it create a passive income? No. Does it reduce my monthly expenses? No. In fact, it's increasing it. Oh, I always forget the balloons. That's so awesome. So the number two killer, the big three under plan, first one, qualified plans. Number two, paying off debt. And number three, paying cash. Paying cash for everything is a killer. Now, why is that? Joey, I don't want to go into debt for everything. Why would you say such a thing? Well, the thing about it is when we pay cash, we give up the money that money could have earned, right? The opportunity cost. You've heard it said a million times, opportunity cost, but have you really seen the math on what it actually, come over here, Alan. I want you to join. This is all right. Let's see if we can get Adler over here. Can you hear? Okay.
Hi.
All right, Adler. I got something I need to ask you.
Yes.
Okay. So, have you ever heard the term opportunity cost?
No.
What would you think of if I said opportunity cost for the first time? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
An opportunity that you're gonna cost.
Opportunity that you're going to cost. That's right. So when you pay cash for something, the money that you use to pay cash for, let's say to buy a car. If I take $20,000
Mhm.
and I go buy a car,
Yes.
that $20,000 is no longer earning me any money.
Mhm.
You agree with that?
Yes.
Why?
Wait, say that one more time.
Whenever I take $20,000 and I buy a car, it no longer is earning me any money.
Yes.
You agree with that?
Yes.
Because why?
Because I don't
because it's no longer in the bank or in my policy or in wherever it's earning interest. I can no longer earn interest, right?
Yes.
You remember us talking about that in the Tuttle Twins books?
Yes.
Interest.
Yes.
So we don't want to give up what that interest could have earned, right? But how do you actually stop? Are you out of here? Appreciate you, brother. So if I give up, if I spend cash for everything, I never earn money on that money.
Yes.
Instead, I want to create a system. McKinney, brother,
Congratulations.
dude, I need to get a picture with you.
Okay.
You gonna get our picture? Come back here. Dude, great to see me.
Congratulations,
Good
man.
to see you. Thank you for coming. I
Yeah,
know this
dude.
was like ridiculously last minute. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask.
What did you do? I'm proud of you, brother.
Thank
Keep-
you.
Keep rocking it out.
Thank you so much.
Kiss up sometime.
Okay. Huh? Come over here, Tyndall. Okay, come here and sit in my lap. All right, this is Tyndall. Tyndall, can you say hello?
Hello.
And see, people are looking right in that. See that camera right there? That's where people are looking at you right now. Oh my. So what does it mean? Like, what do you think about Daddy writing a book?
Riding with me.
I wrote it with you.
Yes.
Oh my
Do you-
goodness.
Do you remember us writing a book? Was I using a pencil or a pen?
You were using a marker.
A marker. I have been writing with a marker in people's books, right? And signing those things. Now, do you remember? Are there any other books that you like to read?
Yes. I like to read Elmo.
Elmo. Elmo's a good book. Yeah, he's a good author.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make good pictures next time in our next book,
Okay.
like Elmo.
All right, I need
Right.
another one. We got
Oh.
one more
Hold on.
purchase over here.
All right. All right. So Tyndall, do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Bye.
Wave. Oh, there's Pastor Phil. Go get Pastor Phil a hug.
All right, we got somebody who's in the book here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my father-in-law. So in the book,
He is here
he's here. So in the book,
in the building.
yep, I tell the story. We're talking about infinite banking in the book,
Man.
right? That's one of the concepts that's in there of how to build our cash.
Right.
And I'm telling the story in the book about how we actually learned about the whole becoming your own banker concept and how we put it into action by actually using the literal banking function of where my wife has started dental practice at the end of 2008.
Best time ever.
Yeah, beautiful time to start a business. She
Almost
takes
as good as 2020.
she takes a bank loan from Bank of America. Bank of America is the number one lender in the dental space. And let's just, I think in the book, I just round numbers, say it's $750,000. Well, my father-in-law had received an inheritance from his dad, who was a banker. And the bank that he owned stock in had been bought by Bank of America. And so when his father passed, he passed this money to him in the form of bank stock of Bank of America. Well, the beginning of 2007, the financial markets start diving. Okay, so most people don't think that they look at like August and September 2008 as the collapse because that's when the Dow dropped like 800 points. But in the beginning of 2007 was really the front edge, and it all was hitting the banks, and the bank stock were just diving. Well, when I used to be an investment advisor, so whenever he inherited the stock, one of the things he did, he, put it over in his brokerage account, and I was helping him manage that. And we put a stop loss on the stock, which means that if the stock drops by a certain percentage, it will sell whatever number, percentage or total number of stock you want to give. And we had created two little tiers, like one at like 15% and one at like 25%. Now, back in those days, stocks didn't move that much. Like they literally up or down 1 or 2%. You never saw a day in the Dow where it was like up or down more than 50 points. Like 100 points was like a crazy day. Now
Sure.
That's like, I mean, if it jumps 350 points, people are like, yeah, that's part of it.
Child's play. Yeah.
Well, the stock drops 15% like in days.
Welcome.
As soon as it drops, it triggers the stop loss, and we sell like 30 or 40% of the stock. He's freaking out because the one thing he'd been told is that you never want to get rid of this stock for multiple reasons, but one reason, it paid a great dividend. Then it keeps diving, it sells the other whatever 60% of the stock, whatever the percentage was. And I make the joke that I was not really friendly around the house. Like he did not like me. Like you've now sold the one thing that I was never supposed to get rid of. I was going to have this dividend for the rest of my life, and it was just going to be worth all this money. Well, most people, if you go and you type in the ticker BAC for Bank of America, you'd see that in 2007, early on, is running around $53 a share. Well, you keep following it into the mid 2009. I think it bottomed out around $3 a share. So we sold it somewhere in the $40 share range, and then another probably in the mid 30s. So needless to say, I became friendly around the house. Like I went from
the tides have turned.
the outhouse to the in-house, the penthouse. But here's the thing is that the problem is with Wall Street. The book we've written is Wealth Without Wall Street. And one of the things I literally hate about Wall Street is you have to be right 2 times. You got to be right when you get in, and you got to be right when you get out. And it's so hard. So we got out, and I don't want to say we were right. We lost a decent amount of value in the stock, but both of us were terrified about when would he get back in. And so we were sitting in cash. And then this book called Becoming Your Own Banker comes across my desk. I read this book, and in the book, he talks about how banks take depositors' money and turn around and lend it out to borrowers for a return. And oftentimes it's families, right? People who have deposited money that turn around and lend it back to the same family, and they're making the difference. Well, Joey, I had this exact example living it out in front of me, where my father-in-law's stock had been sold sitting in a bank. The same bank is turning around and lending my wife $750,000 at 7.95% for her dental practice, which, by the way, the dental practice had less than a 1% default rate. That's the reason why Bank of America was so big on lending money. And she had never run a business in her life. She's 2 years out of dental school, right? But yet they know that less than 1% of the dental practice ever fail. And I'm reading this book, and I'm like, we could put this exact concept into place right here. Went to my father and said, hey, you got cash sitting in this account. Megan's over here borrowing money. Let's take the cash, pay off the Bank of America debt, and just take the same exact payment, the same loan terms that she's paying Bank of America, and send it back to you.
Becoming the bank.
So immediately we take away this our just being paralyzed by not knowing what to do, to creating safe, repeatable, predictable cash flow. And he says to me, but I don't know what we're going to do with the money, because we don't need it. He had an active job, didn't need the money. That was not the point. And by the way, Bank of America stock had quit paying a dividend anyway.
It's gone.
Well, not only had he sold the stock, but the dividend went away too. Yeah, if he would have even had a stock. So he now has a consistent quote unquote dividend coming to him. And I said, well, here's the thing is that this book talks about using dividend paying whole life insurance as a place to store your cash, and then being able to do other loans for other projects out of it. And I was like, we've got the perfect scenario where Megan has a loan to you. You actually can insure her life. Because at the point he was uninsurable. But she could be insured, and she could be insured because he had already done that. So this book is a great example. So I'm gonna get to sign a copy of it for them, and I hope that you'll get to read that story
Say hello to
for
my
whatever
pastor.
I left out of it. All right. If you just joined us, thank you for being a part of this. But if you haven't already bought a copy of the book, and we're sitting here signing these, and if you hit that QR code in the top right hand corner, Joey and I'll get a chance tonight to see it come across, and we'll sign it, and literally Amy and our team will send it to you. Would love to do that and get you, a Herbie Hancock, as Chris Farley would say, right? And by the way, if you do buy it, and I'm the one writing your note, it's gonna be way longer than Joey's because I long-winded. Oh man, will be probably unreadable, but it will be lots of it. No different than your inability to understand what I'm saying through my southern accent, as well as probably the words I make up as we do the podcast on a regular basis. But definitely grateful that we get a chance to do this. It's a lot of fun for us. We really do. This is the best thing we do on a regular basis.
We're talkers, man. All right, so Russ, this is for my pastor and his wife.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start it. You're not starting it. Man, we got a heart. Somebody hearted something.
Dude, it was a good story.
Man, thank you, Russ, for giving us a heart on that, getting a heart on that one.
I told Megan to do it. So whenever you leave, whatever you do, get on the live stream and hit the thumbs up, hit a like, hit a heart, hit something. Buy a couple of books, do whatever you got to do. Let's boost the numbers up around here, Get a blue check mark. Do something.
If you're just joining us, you can buy the book directly on the screen with the QR code. We're signing them physically right now. We'll send them to you wherever you are in the world. And man, so grateful to have you joining us. It's such a great honor for us to be able to do this. So, is that a bee?
No, I got hung up there. My brain kind of skipped in the middle. All right. So, all right, did you finish the three big mistakes?
Well, you literally came in at the right time, because I was just telling people about paying cash for everything is the number 3 mistake, but I didn't give them the solution. And then you followed up with becoming your own bank. So why does becoming your own bank allow you to stop the big 3, the third one, of paying cash for everything?
Well, having lazy cash is probably the thing that it's the easiest to make that mistake, right? Because we either don't know what to do with the money, or we're like, hey, I always want to have excess cash around. I remember whenever you and I met and you were a client of mine, that you held on to a decent amount of cash. You paid cash for a lot of things, your cars, your his Avalon. By the way, there is plenty of old ladies excited that they no longer have to wait behind Joey in line to get access to the latest Avalon out there, or minivan, right? But the cash model is one of those. It's easy to do, and we have this concept of, man, well, it's better than borrowing money, right? If I have to borrow money from someone and pay interest to them, then man, I would rather pay cash. But what we don't realize is that paying cash ends up being a model where we hold cash, and when we do use it, we give up the ability of what it could earn for us. And the becoming your own banker thing has been so good because we've been able to realize that there's a way for us to not only get our cash at work earning at a rate higher than what we would normally earn inside of our checking account, true, but
100%.
also that we then can use that money by borrowing against the life insurance company's money. And this is where we have to become better investors. We have to know the things that we're investing in. And there was a lot of times early on you and I didn't know what we were investing in and why. We were just out there doing it. And some may even say, I heard you guys latest podcast, and you guys have some still things on that list that you don't know what you're investing in or why. And I just say, hey, this is just education, right? This is really just Joey and I helping you. We want to give you as many different scenarios that you can see. But whenever you're forced to truly know the thing,
Hey, sorry, we just lost you there. The internet blinked here at Slice Pizza. So we had to go on the phone here. I'm connected on the phone, so hopefully we'll be consistent here. But man, thank y'all again for being here. This is such a momentous occasion, big undertaking that's finally come to fruition, and we're grateful. We're grateful that we could do this for you and with you, because at the end of the day, we're just one beggar trying to tell other beggars where to find the bread, and we're grateful that you're along the ride with us. I got my good friend Jordan Anderson in the house. He has bought 3 books for he and some of the guys that work with him. And man, so grateful for him to support us, but also to encourage the guys that work with him by providing this as a gift for them. I'll just mention it again. You see it scrolling there. You can buy the book on the QR code that you see. And we will sign it tonight if you purchase it now. We got about 15 more minutes while we're going to be signing here live. And looks like we got another person here we got to sign a book for. Our stack is getting smaller. All right. So if you have questions, put them in the chat and the comments, wherever you're watching us from. And it should show up here so we can know if there's any questions that you have about any stories that we have around the book or anything. Another thing that we mention in the book is under support. Remember, going through this one more time, your GPS is what you need to get to financial freedom, your goal, your plan, and your support. We're on support right now. And in support, we actually talk about your investor DNA, and then we talk about what sort of options there are that you may have heard about, may not. For us, we've just been gathering these from the over 500 episodes on the podcast that we have talked to experts in each one of these. And we talk briefly about the 4 main personality types. So the D, I, S, and C types, and what those actually equate to in the passive income matrix. This matrix is constantly updating. So when you buy the book, you get access to it as we update it. It's going to continue to be done on it's like a Google Excel spreadsheet kind of deal. So it's constantly being updated and you get access to that. But we talk about things that are more hands-on, things that are more hands-off, and then potential financing options. So one of the things that's standing in most people's way when it comes to financial freedom is access to cash. And we talk about some of the really cool ways that we've learned to buy assets. One of those is subject to. And about a year and a half ago, Russ and I, you may have heard us talk about this on the podcast, bought a home subject to the mortgage that was already on the property. So the existing seller had a mortgage, I think it was like 2.5%. It was so stinking low. And when we were sitting down with them to talk about buying their home, we gave them options. One of them, will buy it outright at this price. But if you want this higher price, we have to give, you want your price, we want our terms. And what that meant was we took over their payments on the existing mortgage and paid them the difference of what they owed and what the house was worth. So we ended up paying them essentially like a down payment, and then actually gaining the payments on their mortgage. By doing this, the house ended up being a train wreck. We ended up having to sell it again because the school or the neighborhood shut it down. We were going to do a short-term rental in it, and they literally shut us down in the city. We had to resell it very quickly. And if we had financed this the traditional way, gone to all the regular closing costs and all that, we would have lost money on this deal. There's no doubt in my mind. But because we took over payments and were able to get such a low holding cost, we were able to really make a small profit on this deal that was totally unexpected. So, man, there's all sorts of cool things like that in the book. The seller financing, creative financing, hard money, cash out refis, you name it. We cover a lot of these different strategies in the book, along with, as I mentioned before, the different hands-on and hands-off options that are available to you when it comes to passive income. Depending on where you're at in that road, it may be that you need to be more hands-on because you have less money and more time. Maybe you have less time and more money. And that's going to be, maybe you can afford to do more of the passive options. So anyway, there's a couple things there. I'm going to go ahead and sign this book for Lee. Lee, my buddy, we've actually known each other since college, been through a lot. I'm so very grateful for Lee and his family. So, hey, Toby, how are you? Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you.
I tell you, that's unbelievable.
I say the same thing. We never knew it was going to happen,
Yeah.
Just keep plugging along.
Remember when you out of the first one, didn't know where you guys were going, but you were going. And look what you've done. Your mentor would be incredibly impressed.
Man,
Don't you,
That means a
don't
lot.
you know that?
I
mean,
hope
don't-
so.
Do you think about it? Well, you know.
Oh, all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would just, he'd be, where he probably is, beaming in heaven right now. Look
That's
at
right.
what I created.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it really is neat, but congratulations.
Thank you so much. That was Toby wishing us a congratulations. So grateful for him and his insights in our lives. So I am signing this now for Lee Wyman, trying to see if anybody else has come through. So we make sure to get yours signed tonight. All right, Lee. I'll make sure. Can you ask Lee who he wants it signed to? Any questions for me or Russ, put that in the comments so that we can make sure that we answer those for you. We got a few more to sign. Did we already do this one? Yeah. This is Phil and Jennifer. I want to get a picture with Phil. You want to get a picture with Robert?
All right, we got back on the air here.
We're on the air, man. Look,
I know, but
we're over here.
I know we are. I know.
Oh,
We are.
I just caught everybody up on some of the financing options we talked about. And there's some things are hands-on, some are hands-off. I didn't tell them what they were, though. I can't let the cat completely out of the bag.
Well, here's the key: is that what are you going to learn how to do? Like, what is the gifting that you have? Some people really want to be way more hands-on, and because of that, they can actually find ways to make money in areas that I don't know how to do. You know, I can tell you how to do it, but I don't actually how to do it. But I mean, I tell you how to do it. That's what I meant. That,
Oh, okay.
you're
I'm
listening.
like, it doesn't make a lot of sense that you can tell somebody how to do something you don't
Well, you
know
know,
how to do.
all I have to do is hear it once.
All right. He's leaving it up to me.
Who's this?
This is Lee.
Oh, this is for Lee. Yeah. Lee was gonna give us a free Bava Java for the rest of the month.
Full, this is a straight up trade. I'll take it.
All right. So you want me to talk about financing options?
No, talk about hands-on. I told people sometimes you have to start with a more of a side hustle because you have more time than you have money.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
So give me a couple of
So
ideas. here.
here's the thing. I will tell you this. If I would have learned about this one idea as little as 6 years ago, Stallion, we would not be sitting here today. Not behind a podcast,
I'm
not
sorry.
behind a microphone, not signing a book that says Wealth Without Wall Street,
Okay. Tell me more.
not with a huge team of coaches and people that we get to interact with on a daily basis, not with a community of over 8,000 people, not with 323 people following us on my Instagram account. Like we wouldn't have all of that
Tell me why.
if I would have known and learned about land flipping, land investing more than 6 years ago. I believe that I would be excellent at land flipping. I think that I would just love it. I would just love getting on the phone and talking to people, wheeling and dealing, negotiating deals. And the beauty is that there's two things you need to be really good at land flipping. Good with people. I think I have a trait with people. I'm not gonna say I'm great, but I'm in the good category. The second part is
Would you say strong to quite strong?
that's what I would. I mean, thank you for saying it. I didn't want to say it. These guys are always like, Russ, you're always saying stuff about
I gotta
yourself.
throw you a bone every once.
Let
in a while.
somebody else say it about you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But the second part that you need in order to be really good at land investing, and I've had a chance to meet thousands, literally thousands at this point, because we've spoken at how many boot camps?
Oh,
16,
at least.
16 or 17 boot camps, and
Yeah.
every single one of them have anywhere between 100 and 200 people. And I've had a chance to meet almost, 50% at each time, right? I mean, you don't get a chance to talk to everybody, but I try to talk to a lot. So I met thousands of people at this point, and I've learned there's two things that you need. One is that you're good with people. I think I could be good at people. Second is grit, willingness to not quit. Dude, just challenge me. Just tell me I can't do it, and I'm going to do it. So I would love if I would have never learned if I would have learned this more than 6 years ago, if the very first podcast you and I would have done in 2017 would have been with Mark Podolsky and the Land Geek, I may have bounced on you, bro. I may have started my land flipping business, and right now I would be doing something else, because you could do it with a laptop from wherever in the world you want to be. I'd have at least minimum $100,000 a month coming in, and
Whoa.
just done. I'm just telling you, when people say, well, Russ, why did you work for Enterprise Rent-A-Car out of college? One, because nobody else would hire me. Second one is,
you like wearing a suit when you wash your car.
I like getting my tie sucked up into vacuum cleaners. Third, and most importantly, employed more $1 million paychecks than any other company at the time, meaning they have more people that they paid $1 million or more at the company than any other company in the U.S.
By the way,
Just show me the money, bro.
By the way, nobody asked you why you work for Enterprise.
Well, my point is that why would I have chosen land investing? Because it's like that. I don't think that's a penny ante deal. But no, we've met people who have 6 and 7 figure annual incomes from note investing out of their land flipping. Like it's a no brainer.
So you're saying if you have more time than you have money, no contest.
I think if you got money, you got time.
You got grit.
You got grit. You got to be good with people.
You got to be good with people.
And I will say this is that we tried to start our own business, and by us meaning like we try to put somebody into place to do it. Right? Like we were at the point of delegation, and we decided, hey, she wants to flip houses, we'll let her flip land. What's the difference?
I mean, how could they be any different?
Right?
This is actually better than flipping out.
Easy. You don't even have to watch HGTV in order to figure it out. Unfortunately, it just wasn't a fit.
It was a flop.
It was not a good deal. But the best thing I ever did, which is on the passive side of this, you asked about active side. If you're good with people, you're good with grit, do this. If not, figure out a way like I did and you did to convince people who are really good at it to do it for you.
I second that.
We saw it today, $30,000 a month. $30,000 a month is what we're up to in 3 years?
Almost 4.
Almost 4. And I said in 6 years, I'd be at $100,000 a month if I was doing it myself. You're holding me back.
I'm holding you back.
You're holding us back.
I'm literally doing nothing. All right, sign that for Lee. Robert, okay. I have not signed one from Mike. How do you want it made out, Mike? Well, just to who? Is it to you? Is it to you and your family? Is it to you and your wife? I'm going to write this one to myself. Let's see. I got to make it sure it's perfect for you. Hold on. All right. We got the Dejanovics. We're going to take care of right here. And then Jordan is next. I know we got a stack over here, man.
Just for the record, I beat him. That's it. That's a competition. All right. So we literally got like 3 more minutes. If you want a live copy of the What's What Wall Street 3 Steps to Freedom Through Passive Income book, just go click that QR code in the top right hand corner. Joey and I'll sign it. We'll send one out to you. Otherwise, you can go on Amazon, and we'd love for you to buy it there too. We just won't sign it, and we won't ship it to you. They will. They'll probably charge you shipping too, won't they, Amy? This is the deal of all deals. All right. We got a time for one more story.
Mike and Kim. All right. Is this everybody?
Yes. That's Lee's here.
All right, Jordan. I gotta get started on yours. Tell me who.
Joshua's first.
Joshua. Okay.
Love you guys. You guys are good.
Hey, I got your book. We gotta get a picture with you.
I'm Russ.
Yeah, bro. That's pretty
Yes,
good,
I
man.
hear about you. So
I hear about
grateful for
you too. I hear you. Listening to the podcast.
Yeah. Well,
So
grateful.
cool. Excited
This is
about
yours.
what y'all do.
Come over here and get a picture with us.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I got
Dude, I love it.
Phil
I
Simmons.
love it. Awesome. Am I taller than Russ?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
No contest.
We're both taller than Joey. So.
That's right.
Hey,
Hey.
hey.
Is that my book?
That's
Thank
yours,
you,
brother.
man. Excited how the Lord is using it.
This guy, I would like pour into him to see pours into me.
Oh.
Record result of those that he keeps in the Lord. So,
Yeah, man. Love the Murrays.
Thank you for coming out. I know this is
You're welcome, man.
Crazy
This
last
is
minute.
exciting. My book's on.
tomorrow.
This is for all my English teachers that didn't even think I could read a book. Oh my goodness. And the fact that your wife and I are both from Montgomery, you got 2 people in one room that doesn't have cell bars between them from Montgomery in one place. That's doing something. Like, we've moved up around here. All right, Joey.
All right,
So one last thing,
we're out. We're out of time.
if somebody were to read this book, what would be the greatest goal that you would have for them after after putting 3.5 years of our life in some shape or form through this book, what would be the greatest goal that you have?
Man, I'll tell you, it's what I've been signing in these books almost every time is that ultimately this is the start to helping you become the best steward of what you've been given from God. Your time, your money, your resources, all are gifts. And man, if we can help you with some of the stuff that we've learned as it relates to money to help you steward that better in your life, that's all I ask. That's all I ask. And ultimately, as you become more free with your time, you can become the person that God has always intended you to be and not feel locked up, not feel tied down, or not acting in who the person is that you are. That's what I would say. What about you?
Yeah, I'm just excited to see what this inspires you to do, because for me, I'm one of those that I like to see an example and then try to recreate one that fits me and what I want to do. And I hope that this would do the same thing in you, that you would read this and say, man, two knuckleheads out of Alabama with public school education could do a fraction of what we've been able to do, that there's opportunity. Now, not that you don't have the same backgrounds, that you have the same resources or you have the same opportunities, but you can create within your own network, within your own friend group, within your own access to cash, and create something amazing for yourself. And financial freedom is really what you want it to be once you have defined it. So define it for yourself. I hope this book will inspire you to great things. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being on here with us on a Monday night. And I hope this was hopefully an inspiration on a day that usually is associated with the negative being tax day. Hopefully we gave you something to laugh about, at least laugh at. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.